Well, space fans, exciting news, huh? And there's even more in part 2.
Well, here I am, folks, with another video on Stellar Blade 2 Blood Rain. The hits don't stop coming as far as I'm concerned. And yes, I am a little bit topsy-turvy on my left-hand side in front of the camera, but that's because I'm pleased to see you guys and gals. So let's get into this today. I mean, it's the third Stellar Blade video I've done in a row. Like, what is going on? Christmas came early, and so did I, thanks to Kim Young-tae. But I'll be talking about him in a few moments, the boss of, the CEO of Shift Up Korea. So without further ado, folks, let's look at this article regarding the alleged use of AI Slop in the Blood Rain trailer. How could that? I feel betrayed. How can you do this to me? Kim Young-tae, I'm not going to pre-order your game anymore. I'm just kidding. Of course I am, because this article is a bit of an overreach from pushsquare.com, but also at the same time, you can kind of see why people are not really bothered by this.
YouTube's newest hero is here to save the day. His name, Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Stellar Blade Blood Rain's reveal is allegedly riddled with generative AI by Sammy Barker. Now, it goes into a bit more detail here. As a massive fan of Stellar Blade, I take no pleasure in writing this, but yet you are, you contradictory sir. Fans have pointed to various examples, from the look of protagonist Evie, I can't imagine why they'd draw her attention to this, through to some nonsensical architecture in the key art. But Chinese players have perhaps spotted the biggest telltale sign. Now, this guy called Daniel Camilo says AI generated elements are indeed present in the Stellar Blade 2 sequel. Some of the Chinese writing, in question marks, is very visibly AI slop. Now, I didn't want to point it out earlier on, says Daniel, because he doesn't want to relive his geekdom days in school getting picked on by the bullies, because I presume these are placeholder symbols that will be replaced later on throughout development, and mostly because I'm not comfortable enough with Chinese writing to authoritatively point the finger of blame at Shift Up. Still not a good look to have these in your reveal trailer. It's sloppy doppy time. Oh, come on now. Look, when I watched this trailer, do you think I was actually paying attention to AI slop in the background? None of us were. I don't even think the crowd at Summer Games Fest are bothered by that either. But if you have a look at this signage right here, folks, the last Chinese symbol is clearly not a symbol. It's just AI slop. Now, I've got a counter argument for that one, which I'll come to at the end. It's not really the biggest deal, but people are making it the biggest deal ever. Now, Emerald Apple here says anti-AI at this stage is just sad and pathetic, and hardly anyone is gonna care about some messed up letters, which, my man, that is so correct, because Emerald Apple and I have a big affinity for AI creations. You do realize the game is in early development. It's not out yet and won't be out until at least 2027. More than likely, if it is AI, they are placeholders. Sure, some futuristic skyscrapers and flying cars actually exist, right? My God, you guys really make such a huge fuss over the dumbest things. That's the whole point, right? Because I commented on the architecture. I thought it was beautiful. Does it have to look perfect? Of course not. Are there problems with the placeholders in the trailer? No, there isn't, because it is a dystopian fictional world. Things can be out of sync, out of place. I mean, what else are we going to pick on next? The Afro-Caribbean characters that we have walking around in the streets of this version of South Korea, that maybe a bit of their Afro hair is not in the right place or the right alignment? Well, leave it up to the BLM people to point that out for you in the comment section below. And honestly, I think this is just really overreach at the moment. I mean, the fact that you're saying, sorry about the cough, guys, I'm just having a really tickly cough at the moment. Maybe if I look at Evie again, that might chase the blues away. But anyway, this article here really did catch my eye regarding the whole Stellar Blade situation from IGN, where one person can perform the work of 100 people. So says the CEO of Shift Up Korea, Kim Young-tae, and I can't actually blame him for saying that actually, has stated that without the use of AI, developers in smaller nations will struggle to keep up with studios in places like the USA and China, who, in respective of their turnout, have 1,000 to 2,000 people working on video games at any one point. But as Mr. Kim has said here, they've only got 150 people to work on a single game. So when you bring in AI to get one person to do the work of 100 other real employees, if you employ them in your sector, that actually makes a lot of sense. And again, Mr. Hyung Tae Kim has actually touched on a point I've often battered on the head here in my channel, which is basically AI cannot be serviceable without human interaction. That's the way it works. Unless it goes really rogue for some reason, then we're living in Skynet times all over again. Using AI will not result in job losses, Kim insisted, but instead make employees more valuable because it's a two-way street. That particular man or woman will learn what the AI can do in terms of what they want as a final outcome. And I suppose AI will have to be trained until you get the final result. AI is, of course, a huge topic in gaming right now. Well, shame they couldn't apply that same strategy to the God of War-esque ridiculousness of Sony and that god-awful rendition of Deborah Ann Wall as Lu Fei because she comes from the French Quarter of Louisiana. It does go on to say here that Nintendo denied allegations that it used AI-generated imagery to advertise its new My Mario children's toy range, while last month a Fortnite artist was forced to defend their work after fans suggested numerous images found within the game's new season were AI generated, including a suspicious looking poster showing a character in a hammock with an odd number of toes. Oh my god, you really cannot fool the public, can you? But of course, folks, here I am with the lovely Eevee from Stellar Blade 2 Blood Rain, finishing my video for you today. And all I can say is, if you can see AI Slop, Trackside Brew, people walking by, oh, is that man's tie out of place? I like these police officers right here. They're pretty cool, actually. Well, let me know. Again, when I'm watching this trailer, I see a Korean version of Blade Runner. And by the way, if people are having such a hang-up about the misplaced Chinese lettering symbols on the signposts in this trailer, don't forget that Chinese Prime Minister Xi Jinping is very close friends with North Korea. So again, if people are saying, well, some of the buildings look wonky and this is set in the Chinese province of Qingchong or Chongqing, I can't remember what it's called, folks, but there you go. I'm going to get so much lit up comments in my section today. I can't wait. But honestly, what's the big fuss? I mean, again, Hyung Tae Kim has said the future is going to be that AI will be used to make up a lack of workforce within Shift Up, who have gone independent because they said a big F you to Sony. And on that one, folks, somebody who I won't be saying F you to is the lovely Eevee, who is deciding to take a Little Red Riding Hood walk down the street to go and kick some ass. And if I were you, folks, and if you were me, I will catch you catching me for the return of the next video.
Rolling down to Dallas, my wheels provide my palace. Head off to New Orleans or who knows where. Places new and ladies too. I'm BJ McKay and this is my best friend.